Sitcom trading cards of the 80s and 90s. They're virtually worthless money-wise, but are they going to be fun to crack open in 2020? And do I dare try the 30-year-old gum contained within their waxy packaging? Probably. Hello friends, Dan from Slashdance, new album out, new music video out. It's a love letter to the goth and industrial rock of the 80s and 90s, so if that's your thing, maybe check it out. Or if you just like retro treasures like what we're about to get into today, maybe consider subscribing and I will appear to you weekly in syndication, maybe even with a laugh track.
You got it, dude.
So a couple of my oldest friends were recently at an antique shop and they stumbled upon a assortment of random non-sport trading cards from the 80s and 90s, and they picked them up for me, assuming that it would be something that I would like, and they, of course, were 100% correct in that assumption. I am not a card collector by any means. Generally speaking, if I had an entire box or a whole bunch of something, I might leave them alone because they're more interesting that way, but seeing as where these are just one-off and are totally worthless, I think we're going to get more entertainment out of opening them than leaving them. So let's get at it. The random pack that immediately jumped out to me was this one. Pro Set Superstars Music Cards with facts about your favorite rock, rap, and pop stars from 1991. I'm actually so jazzed about these that I went ahead on eBay and ordered an entire box of them unopened for the kingly sum of $4.99. So when they come in later this month, I'm going to do an entire video just on Superstars Music Cards. So stay tuned for that. This leaves us with a much more coherent theme of 1980s and early 90s sitcoms. Alf, Growing Pains, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, and Full House. I actually had some Alf cards as a kid, so I sort of know what to expect, so that seems like a pretty good place to start. Really, is there anything that defines sitcoms in the 80s more than Alf? From about 1986 to 1990, the wisecracking alien can be found on every type of licensed merchandise you can think of. Lunchboxes, skateboards, wristwatches, and a plush Alf toy that included a tape deck, which is of course the perfect place to play your Alf rap cassette. So of course there were trading cards, and the trading cards were so successful that they actually made 2 sets. And this is the second one. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I don't know. Is this why people make unboxing videos? And there it is, the gum. Feels pretty hard. We're going to have a couple of these by the end of the video, so let me know if you want one. So we were promised 5 cards, 1 sticker, and 1 stick of bubble gum. So far we have 1 stick of bubble gum. We have a sticker of Alf wearing Dalmatian print. Find somewhere good for that. On the back of the Alf in Dalmatian print sticker, there is a puzzle piece. You would get all the stickers, put the backs together, it would form a giant photo of Alf doing something hilarious. Let's see how many of these are about eating cats. As the karate experts say, ouch. And he's karate chopping a piece of wood. On the back, there is some facts about the Shumway family tree. Alf's last name was Shumway. There it is. Second card. Wait, dinner isn't over. I think I smell cat. Eats cats. On the back, more Shumway family tree. I guess that's just what's on the back of these. This is a weird one. It's just the mother and the daughter standing aghast, and there's a word bubble that says, if we're gonna play hide and seek, you're gonna have to cover your eyes. But without context, it's pretty weird. Checklist. 44 cards in this. This is series 2 of the Alf set. And everyone had a Booyah Baseball card. Booyah Baseball was baseball with fish, I think, if I remember correctly, from Alf that they played on Melmac, the planet he came from. This is from Dave's Brown Sox. Dirk, that swell guy, Twink. His last name is Twink. So yeah, that was Alf. You all pretty much knew what we were getting into. Smart, alecky, alien, and eating cat jokes. But do you guys remember that the Alf show ended abruptly? And the last episode of Alf, he actually got caught by the US government and taken away. And that's how the series ended, because the people who made the show thought that they were going to get another season. They had a handshake deal, and they just assumed that the next season would be Alf in government containment and it'd be wacky adventures there. But the show got canceled, so millions of viewers just thought, well, that's it for Alf. He's caught. by the government, never to be seen again. Though he was seen again. 5 years later, they made a made-for-TV movie that almost nobody watched about Alf being trapped by the U.S. government called Project Alf. It was largely underwhelming. Its time had passed, but I'm sure you can find it on YouTube if you need to find out what became of Gordon Shumway, aka Alf. Growing Pains was a sitcom on ABC from 1985 until 1992 and was most notable for having a character on the show named Boner.
Hey, Boner! Boner, I kissed Annie. Boner, hitting on your sister's best friend is totally uncool.
The premise is that Dr. Jason Seaver is a psychiatrist who works from home because his wife Maggie has gone back to work as a reporter, leaving Jason to watch over their kids, Mike, Carol, Ben, and later, Chrissy. Which, as I'm saying this, I'm starting to realize exactly how thin of a premise that is to get 7 seasons out of, but I don't know. We all watched it. Show me that smile again. Don't waste another minute on your crying. It's supposed to be a music channel. I have an album, but I'm doing this. Hey, Dan, how'd you decide to promote your album? I don't know. I just sang the Growing Pains theme and opened some trading cards on YouTube. Let's see what we got. Oh, man, there's a lot. Oh, man. Boom. Joanna Kearns. Like the actress's name. She was the mom. I'm putting this on my base case, like, right now. I'm actually going to put it in the video. Oh, right there. Kirk Cameron as Mike Seaver. I'm glad I got this one. For a lot of people, Kirk Cameron was probably the draw of the show. He was like a teen heartthrob. He was in all the Tiger Beat magazines and stuff back in the day. And that's before he became a totally controversial social conservative, which we're not going to get into, but if you look it up, it's pretty wild. But we didn't know that back then, so...
Nothing happened, okay, Mom? She wanted to sleep with me and I didn't do it. I'm probably gay. Are you happy now?
Let's just show me that smile again.
Show me that smile.
Jeremy Miller as Ben Seaver. He was the younger son. According to this, Jeremy Miller likes video games and skateboarding, so I don't know. I think that technically makes him cooler than Kirk Cameron in my book. I am a man of the 80s. I have a real hand in raising my kids. And he's got his entire hand over Ben's face. According to this, there's an episode where Ben goes door to door collecting for a charity, but he kept the money for himself. I'm sure there was a lesson to be learned there. Okay, who left the sprinkler on? Oh, Growing Pains trivia. Jeremy Miller, who plays Ben on Growing Pains, is best known for the voice of one of cartoon's favorite characters. Who is it? I literally have no idea. Do you know? The answer is Linus in the animated Peanuts specials. Someday son will own a full-size dining table, I promise. When I grow up, will I still have homework? It's not a treasure map, it's directions to New Jersey. I don't know. It was either a ghost or I ate too much mocha pistachio last night. That's Carol, the daughter, according to this, because she's smart, she's lonely, and she often wishes that she could tell jokes and have lots of friends and be popular, like Mike. This is great. I love these. Dad, isn't the pancake supposed to come down after you flip it in the air? Bruce Fever. The boss is in town. Everybody wants to go, but the tickets are sold out. Leave it to Jason Seaver to get 2 great seats. The problem is, he wants Mike to be his date. Not gonna go see Bruce Springsteen with my dad. I went to go see the Eagles with my mom. I hate the Eagles, but I love my mom. Those were awesome. I actually really like those. The gum didn't survive. The gum did not survive the years. It is all busted up into a million pieces, but I don't know. Maybe that'll make it easier. If someone were to try to eat it at some juncture. You guys want me to try this gum? I'll try it. R.I.P. Bye teeth. Just shattered. It's like turning into powder. I'd show you, but you don't want to see it, I'm sure. Oh, it just tastes like sawdust. Like it's not turning into gum, that's for sure. Okay, I'm starting to swallow it. I'm going to go spit it out. So yeah, that was actually pretty bad. The gum broke down to about the size of pop rocks and just stayed there. They sort of had taste and texture like sandpaper. I don't know. Sawdust, kind of sawdust meets pop rock, except with no pop. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, one of two things. I either totally slept on Laughs trading cards, or maybe they just weren't available in Canada, because I've absolutely never seen them before. I saved them for last because they were the one that I was the most curious about. I'm pretty intrigued by these because there's 3 shows, Perfect Strangers, Family Matters, and Full House in one set. They just cast a really wide net. Kind of like this YouTube channel sometimes. So, I don't know. Let's see what's inside. Starting off with some heavy hitters here. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen as babies. There's some factoids on the back about them. They're identical twins, but Ashley is 3 minutes older. One's right-handed, one's left-handed, and they like to play outdoors. What are you going to say about a couple of babies, really, even if they're actors? Sam Gorpley. I do not remember Sam Gorpley. According to this, he is Balky's boss on Perfect Strangers. So Balky's boss has a trading card. That's the level that we've stooped to. I wanted this, actually. Glad it happened. Next, Harriet Winslow. She was the mother on Family Matters. I didn't really watch that show. I was just like, I didn't get in on Urkelmania, but I do recognize her. She was Carl's wife, and, you know, probably knowing sitcoms, she was probably like the voice of reason who tried to keep the whole house from falling apart. Watches over the children, and toughest of all, stops Carl from losing his mind. Balky, am I going to be able to pronounce his last name? In the 80s, everybody could say his name, and right now I don't know if I can. Balky Bartolomeusz. I don't know why. What if grade 4, I could have totally said this, but right now, not so much. He's also with Cousin Larry, so I don't know why it doesn't say Balky and Cousin Larry. I wonder if there was a card of like the 2 girls that Larry and Balky used to date, because like they were way out of their league. Like Larry's a geek, Balky is a lovable idiot, and they had 2 total out of their league 80s babes. If there is a card of them, that's the card that I want. Maybe it's in here. There's still 2 left. Darius McCrary. He was Eddie Winslow, so I now have a mother-son set of Winslows, so I guess that's pretty good. According to this, Darius marches to the beat of a different drum, practicing his drum set in real life. So, ho, hey, last card from the laugh set, and it's a banger. John Stamos. I didn't plant that there. This was literally, for real, the last card. I wouldn't do that to you guys. So yeah, wow, John Stamos, look at this picture of him. Look at the lighting. It's the sexiest trading card of all time. Probably not. There's probably sexy trading cards. John Stamos plays Uncle Jesse on Full House. At age 18, he became a teen sensation as tough and cocky Blackie Parrish on General Hospital. Didn't know that. In his spare time, John enjoys entertaining friends at home and playing drums for the Beach Boys. We got 2 drummers. We got Stamos and Darius McCrary. They should have a drum off. He also works with the Starlight Foundation to grant wishes to critically ill children. Stamos. Man, that's a good one. I really like those 2. Laughs trading cards. Anybody in Canada ever see Laughs trading cards in Canada, or did I just totally miss them? So did any of you out there actually collect these as a child, or maybe even collect them now? Let me know in the comments below. And actually, something I'd really like to know is, what's the goofiest set of non-sport trading cards that you've ever seen? These ones are pretty wacky, but there's probably some other ones that are really wild out there that maybe I don't know about. You know that I'm here every week with one retro treasure or another. In the coming weeks, whenever the box comes in, I'm going to do an entire episode just opening a box of these superstar music cards from 1991. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. But regardless, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. I had such a good time opening these. I hope that you did too. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you next week.